To introduce our 5 panelists, please welcome your facilitator for this evening, Obakeng Makapane, also known as Obi Fit. Now, Obi Fit's fitness journey started almost 10 years ago when she was in high school. It all started with a simple jog. Then it was followed by a diet change, and since then, a lot of learning and life-changing moments have taken place. Fitness has become her way of life, business, therapy, and a lifesaver. Welcome, Obi Fit, Womandla in fitness.
Hello. Sanbonani. Good evening, South Africans. Dumelang, Sanbonani, Dimachehoni, Molweni. Womandla in fitness to all who are joining us this evening on Instagram, on Zoom, and on Facebook. Today, we have a jam-packed session. And to help me answer the topic for this evening, building your business as a woman in fitness, I have 5 imbogotos in the room. So without wasting any further time, let me introduce them. First up, representing the Department of Sport, Arts and Culture, we have Queen Naniki Malesa, who is the head of marketing. Now Q&M, as we call her, certainly would not mind me sharing this with you. It took her a life-changing experience of being diagnosed with an autoimmune disease for her to realize the value of a lifelong wellness and investment. It is this which inspired her to be so driven and committed to the I Choose to Be Active campaign. Welcome, Naniki, Womandla in fitness.
Thank you so much for being here. Obi Fit, Womandla in fitness indeed. Thank you, it's a privilege.
Thank you. Next up, our second panelist. Apologies, everyone who's in the Zoom call, please mute your mics. Thank you. Our second panelist is Masbulele Nkundlu, who to us is known as Fit Masi the Runner. Her fitness journey started in 2018 as a way of keeping herself busy whilst achieving her body goals. Tonight, we will learn more about her first love, which is weightlifting, and how this has inspired her to become a woman in business in the fitness space. Welcome, Fit Masi, Womandla in fitness.
Womandla in fitness, Molweni, I greet everyone who's here. Thank you.
Thank you. Our third panelist, Rosta Mokoena. Rosta has always been in love with the physical space, and this goes all the way back to her primary school days. After matric, Rosta went on to study at a sports science institution. Now, Rosta runs a successful fitness business where she hosts virtual workouts as well for one-on-one sessions as well as group sessions. Welcome, Rosta, Womandla in fitness.
Thank you so much, Obakeng. Dumelang baheso.
Thank you, Rosta. The fourth panelist for today is none other than Siposetu Maile, aka Setu Bree, who started her fitness journey as a way to get rid of her cellulite back in 2015. Today, she'll be sharing with us how starting this journey of getting rid of the appearance of her cellulite has now helped her to become a woman in the fitness space. Womandla Setu.
Womandla Obakeng, thank you for having me. Molweni Makaya, I'm so excited to be here.
Last but not least, we have our fifth panelist, who is Zamawazi Nkosi, whose decision to start exercising was as a result of a very stressful period in her life. She then used this positive hobby to change her lifestyle and achieve her ultimate body goal. Now Zama uses exercising as a way to become strong, alive, and keep sane. Welcome, Zama. Womandla in fitness.
Womandla in fitness. Thank you so much, Obi, and good evening to everybody in the room. Thank you.
Now that we have gone through all our panelists, I'd like to encourage all of you to please participate on social media and keep the message as well as this webinar going. So hashtag WIF webinar, hashtag I choose to be active. Post your questions and we will get to them as soon as we get to the quick Q&A for the public. I hope you guys enjoy the session and you'll get a lot out of this. Going to our panelists, I am going to start with our representative, our queen for today, Q&M. Why is it important to encourage South Africans to be interested in being physically active when we're living in such a digitally driven society?
Well, you're absolutely right. We are living in a digitally savvy world, and there's no doubt to the impact that such a digitally savvy world is providing for us as a society. I mean, we are in this room this evening. It's thanks to the technology that's making it possible for us to have such powerful conversations. But that said, we cannot begin to neglect the current challenges that we're sitting with. And allow me, please, Obifit, to share with you some of the stats. In 2019, South Africa was ranked the unhealthiest country in the world. 31% of men and 68% of women in South Africa are considered obese. We have a prevalence of 13.5% obesity amongst children aged between 6 to 14, which is way higher than 10% of the global average that we're sitting with. Then, of course, we're sitting with stats such as 47% of South African adults are physically inactive or lead sedentary lifestyles, and 42% of South African urban women are considered to be obese. We know the impact of obesity in driving non-communicable diseases, and that in itself means that the coffers of both government and private sectors are truly affected and almost challenged, because they now have to make money available to manage people who are suffering from non-communicable diseases brought on by the extent of sedentary lifestyles and obesity issues that we're dealing with. So there's no arguing the fact that we need to do something. And it is for that reason that we cannot begin to ignore that, yes, digital savviness is important, but it is just as important to get out, leave our phones, leave our gadgets, and begin to lead physically active lifestyles. Thank you.
Thank you so much for sharing those important reminders of the state of obesity in our country. Now we move on to the exciting part, our influencers. Now, Fit Masi, many ladies are afraid of lifting weights, but for you, it was this love that encouraged you to start your journey. Please share with us what inspired your weightlifting journey.
Okay. Once again, hello to everyone. On my side, what really inspired me to start weightlifting? So after 3 months of starting gym, I picked up that the aerobics and the cardio, it's not something that is challenging. So I wanted to challenge myself. I wanted something challenging every day, and obviously improve my fitness. So that was the main reason first, which was challenging myself. Secondly, I wanted to get rid of the perception that weights or weightlifting is only for men, because I also notice even myself when I'm at the gym that, you know what, at the weight session, it's always like there's only guys. You find a few women there, or there's just one girl or something. So I felt like we need to change, or I need to change this perception that the only people who've got Womandla or who have the strength to pick up weight, it's only guys. So that was another reason why I started weight training. And also I wanted to encourage obviously other women. As I've started lifting, I've noticed that some women have these perceptions that if you lift weights, you're going to become Miss Kakakaka, or you're going to look like a man or something. So I wanted to change that perception. I wanted women to understand that lifting weights doesn't mean that you're going to change and become a man, or you're going to look like a man, but rather you will have your body that you wish for, in terms of toning up. After you've lost weight, you tone out your body, because some people think that when you do weights, it's only about getting you know, like the big arms. Really, it's not about that. Sometimes it's basically about toning your body up. I even always say to women that some people, they just train, they run, they lose weight. Now, what is the next step? Obviously, the next step is tone up your body. Make sure that you do the weight training. And of course, on that, another thing that is very important, we start very little. I'm not expecting women, or I'm not expecting anyone out there when they start lifting weights to start with your 20 kg dumbbell. No, we all start with the 5 or with the 1 that people carry around. And obviously we laugh now that we can carry big weights, but we all start with the small weight. We start with the 1 kg, you move the next month to the 5 kg up until I can be able to do a press, a chest press when you're doing your chest, a chest press using obviously your 22 kg or your 30 kg, and so on and so on. So that's what mostly inspired me to do or to start the weight training. Thank you, Obake.
Thank you. That's actually very powerful, because in starting my journey as well, I struggled quite a lot with weightlifting. So I'm glad that the many women who are listening to us now can also share what they've gone through, whether it's on Twitter or on Facebook, but they mustn't forget to hashtag us. Now we're going to move on to Rosta. What for you was your life-changing moment, and what kept you going during the initial stages of your fitness journey?
Thank you so much, Wake. My life-changing moment was the day I stepped into an aerobic studio where I had to teach people 10 to 15 years experience. At that time, because I couldn't. I just could not handle it. But cutting the story short, I actually made it. People were happy. They were congratulating me. And the thing that I actually learned was that I inspired more women to teach, to be on the podium. And then me going was the hunger of growth, the love of fitness, the feeling I got when I exercised or when I taught. That's what kept me going. Thank you so much, Waki.
Thank you. That's actually powerful. You are helping a nation by helping just one woman, and instructing and helping and continuing. Thank you so much for sharing that. I'm going to go to my next panelist, who is Setu. Why was it important for you to start working out, and how did you manage to get rid of your cellulite?
Okay, for me, I started actually working out because I wanted to get rid of cellulite. And we know that in nowadays that women feel so self-conscious, even men as well feel so self-conscious. I was one of those. And at the age of 21, I felt like I shouldn't have had as much cellulite as I had that time. So like any other person who has a problem, I did my own research, and I just wanted to find out the best remedies to get rid of my cellulite at the time. And amongst other things, there were cellulite trims that I could have bought, but those were very expensive. And at the time, I was just a varsity student and I could not afford. And I'm thankful that I could not afford, because we know that the cellulite industry made about 1.3 billion rand in billion dollars rather in 2019. And I don't want to be part of those people that actually feed into that. I wanted to actually do something that is not only affordable for me as a student, but something that also is sustainable. And weight training was that, strength training was that, and not just strength training, eating clean, hydrating. And it was something that was sustainable for me. As much as cellulites are normal as women, it got me started with my fitness journey. And now that's no longer what drives me, but I appreciate that it got me started. And I just want all the women out there to know that no, cellulites are normal. We, especially for women, must love our bodies as they are. Yes, we can try our best to actually change them and be healthier, but let's just not get the mentality into the mentality that the social medias have fed us. This is what real women look like. And we must love our body. As much as we love the process, love your body through the process. Don't only say you're going to love your body at a certain size. Thank you again.
Thank you, Setu. You actually touched on very important points. I think it's worth noting that the cellulite treatment industry was worth 1.4 billion over that, actually, over 1.4 billion. And it's not embarrassing to have these cellulites. So we should normalize that. I'm glad that you touched on that. Next up, we're going to be speaking to Zama. So Zama, when you started your fitness journey, when you look back, what would you have done differently and why?
I wouldn't change a single thing, to be honest, mainly because I believe I wouldn't be where I am today if it wasn't for the mistakes that I made, if it wasn't for all the struggles that I faced throughout my journey. I mean, I learned a lot from them and it helped me to grow into my fitness journey. One of the mistakes that I made was to actually think that fitness is a one size fit all. I wasted a lot of time actually trying to be like other women who are well established in the fitness space, forgetting that I am me and I also have my strongest points, and what worked for them might not work for me. So I just want to say to all the women out there who want to progress into the space, to tell them that it's okay if you're making mistakes and if you feel like you don't have everything figured out yet. Everyone's journey is unique. We learn every day. Nobody has this game 100% figured out. So embrace all your struggles and just enjoy your journey. Thank you.
Thank you, Zama. After hearing all the speakers say their part, I think we can all agree that all our journeys are different, and the drive behind our journeys is also quite different. So thank you so much for sharing that part. Now we're going to move on to the Q&A from the public. I think Koketo will lead us in that.
Yes, definitely, Obakeng. So after what Setu had mentioned about cellulite, there's someone who commented here on Facebook who's saying, I still struggle with cellulite and I am working out. I do my squats, I am going to gym, but what is it? What is it that I can do? I don't want to resort to creams and all these other remedies. Apart from that, is there something that I'm doing wrong when it comes to squatting? Because I still have the same amount of cellulite on my thighs and bums.
Okay, thank you for that question, Keketo. It's normal having cellulite. Even for me at this point, like I still struggle with cellulite, and it depends on what body fat level that I'm on. The appearance is either it doesn't appear that much when I'm actually at a much lower body fat percentage. But remember, it also takes time. For me, I think it took me 8 months before I actually saw significant results when it came to my cellulite. So you need to be consistent, and also remember diet. Your diet, what you put in your body is very important. Diet, hydrating, and keep on. Just be patient with your journey. As I said, love your journey through the process. But if you still are not seeing results, just change your workouts. Remember, consistently change your workouts. You need to consistently challenge your body in order to build muscle. Because when you reduce fat and build muscles, that's when the appearance of cellulite decreases.
Thank you, Setu. Koketo, I do have a question from Instagram. The person is at Kanye_honey02. This question is directed to my coach, as she puts it, at Zama. How do we remain motivated?
Thank you so much for that question. I mean, you can't rely on motivation because motivation is a feeling, it comes and goes. So you really need to dig deep and focus and build discipline. Every day, slowly do just a little bit of what you're trying to achieve, right? So you don't need to really do 45 minutes of heavy lifting or whatever. If you want to start, you start little and gradually grow into what you want to be. So motivation, it doesn't work. It will not work because today you can be motivated, tomorrow you might not be motivated. So what does that mean for you? So motivation doesn't work. Rely on discipline. That's the most important thing. Build discipline, build healthy habits. That's your way, that's your ticket to actually winning. Thank you.
Thank you. I think that wraps up the public questions for now. Please keep sending your questions. We will address them at the end, and we can keep the conversation going on our social media pages. Don't forget to follow, as I choose to be active, hashtag WIF webinar. Hashtag WIF webinar. Hashtag I choose to be active. For the next
Facilitator,
question.
There's one last question on
Okay.
Zoom. I'm sorry to interrupt you. Someone just got inspired by Fit Masi's story, asking what are the risks as a woman that comes, the risk that comes with weightlifting when you just get into that as a woman?
Okay, thank you so much for the question. Firstly, I must say that you need to understand your body strength. You need to understand the weight that you can lift. If the person was listening to me, I said we all start with those 1 kg dumbbells, if I may put it that way. We all start with the 1 kg dumbbell. So what is important, or the risk, is you need to ensure that you get the form right. There's something called the form in weightlifting. And when you talk about the form, we're talking about how do you pick up that dumbbell? Are you not straining your back, which is like your back or your arms or your shoulders and stuff like that? So you need to, when you get into weight training, it's very important that you also do what we call a research. A research is there on Google, guys. Research is there on your YouTube. It's there in all the platforms. But what is important is look for something that is going to relate to you and what you want to achieve. So I think most importantly, though, it's the form, getting the form right, because there you are picking up the weights, and you can injure your legs, for example, if you know that you don't have much strength, but because you see other people at the gym, you see other people doing squats with 120 kg, and then you're like, let me also put the weights, and then you can injure yourself. So it's very important that you make research and also watch a lot of videos. That's what worked for me, by the way. I watch a lot of videos in terms of the form, especially if you go to your Instagram, you'll find that there are pages there where they show you in terms of when you are training your arms, how do you make sure that your drip is strong. When you talk about the drip, it's basically touching when you touch the dumbbell, or how you carry your dumbbell and stuff like that. So I think it's very important that when you get into the weight training as a woman, get assistance. It's very important. Ask. Don't be afraid to ask at the gym. There are guys there, you're going to find them, they're very fit and stuff like that. And also, another thing that I picked up that is very important, it's the food, obviously, nutrition. I did hear Seth, we talked about it as well. The food, guys. In another time, I went to gym, I didn't eat. And obviously, I'm obsessed with the weights. I know every time I get there, I go straight to my weight session. I forgot that I didn't have enough food. So on that day, it was not a normal day for me, because I didn't have much strength to carry those weights that I used to carry, or I'm used to. So basically, I would say that each and every one of us, we are different when we get into the things. But when it comes to weight training, do some research. And most importantly, ensure that you get the form right. Whether you're doing squats, whether you're doing your deadlifts, whether you're doing your chest press, whether you're doing your arms and stuff, and all the other related weightlifting exercises. So it's very important to make some research. Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you, Masi. And Koketo, do we have time to take one more question?
Yes, one but not least. We have a question directed to Zama from Instagram, asking, do you take any products to help build your abs and glutes? If yes, how long have you been taking them and why? If no, what is your take on them?
Okay, thank you so much for that question. And yes, I do take supplements, but I do not necessarily rely on them. So when did I first start taking them? When I started my journey, my body, I wasn't well educated when it comes to nutrition, because remember, your body needs protein, your body needs carbs, your body needs healthy fats. Your body needs multivitamin, like vitamins and minerals on a daily basis for your body to function normally. So when I started training, and then I started realizing that no, my body is not balanced. My energy levels are not, balancing properly. And I started introducing supplements into my diet. I started with protein because I felt I wasn't consuming enough protein via food. And then I started introducing multivitamins. Those are the only two first. And then as time went on, my work outside of fitness started being demanding. So my energy levels, because I was training after work, started slowing down. Because remember, working during the day is also energy spent. So if you're gonna come back and train, you need energy. Then I started introducing your BCAAs and pre-workouts and caffeine. Actually, coffee is also a supplement because you can actually drink coffee and be active at the gym. Then as time went on, I started fixing my food. So I started cutting supplements. So I didn't drink any pre-workouts. I ate my food and got all my energy from the food that I was eating. And then when it came to protein shakes, when I feel like I did not consume enough protein that day, I can take my shake. But if my diet is proper and I feel like, no, I ate enough chicken breast, I ate enough eggs, I ate enough broccoli, then I do not take a protein shake. So I do not rely on them only when I feel like my diet needs them at that time. So I hope the question is answered. Thank you.
Thank you, Zama. And also, Gogetso, do we have one more question?
No, no, we don't. Thank you so much. You can continue, facilitator.
Thank you so much, everyone, for engaging with us on Zoom and Instagram Live. We see the questions rolling in. I just want to read a compliment for Masbulele. One of the people who follow you on Instagram just said that you are one of the most beautiful women with the most beautiful arms, and thank you for being an inspiration and making the norm look absolutely beautiful.
Thank you so much
to our audience. We really are enjoying the engagement. Keep hashtagging, keep posting your questions. Now, the reason we're all here is to speak about building your business as a woman in the fitness industry. The next couple of questions directed to my panelists will speak more on this topic. Starting with our queen for tonight, Q&M. How has the department enabled women to be economic contributors in the fitness industry?
Thank you for that question. I believe we are in this room because of that very reason. Everyone in this room is really the living proof that the department has done its bit to want to give a platform that enables women to be able to not just lend their presence as participants in the fitness space, but actually as leaders and drivers of encouraging South Africans at large to be physically active. And Obakeng, this is not lip service. We're not doing this because it's Women's Month. If you take it back to June of 2021, when we relaunched the campaign of I Choose to Be Active, 90% of the influencers whom we kicked off with were women. So we were very clear with the fact that we really believe in the power of women, the competence of women, the capability of women, and really the prowess of women to be able to change or influence or drive the conversations that will get more and more men and women believing in the credibility of the importance of leading physically active lifestyles. So there it is. And we trust that this isn't going to be an ongoing process of us continuing to have these conversations. As we've said, even in our own forums, that this webinar, though it is being launched today, we want to continue the conversations beyond the month of August, so that once a month we find ourselves hosting such a webinar where we again give women the platform to be able to come to us and engage on issues of fitness within the industry. Thank you so much for that.
Thank you so much, our queen. We are truly grateful for the opportunity that the department has allowed us. And I don't speak just for myself. I think the women who've joined us today on the on the panel will also agree that this opportunity came at just the right time. We all know the effects of COVID and how that has contributed to how we spend our money and how we continue in society. So thank you so much for trusting us as well to drive this message to South Africans. Now, Fitmasi, how have you been able to use your digital space as a tool to start your business in the fitness industry?
Okay. Normally, one thing that I said when I first got my first check or my first salary from this whole fitness thing was, I said to myself, imagine getting paid for doing what you love and what you like. So for me, obviously, it was like, oh, I'm into fitness, and I started the whole thing as a hobby, and all of a sudden I'm getting paid out of it. So what happened was, firstly, I started by uploading my videos as well as my gym pictures. At that point, it was more like something that you see us in fitness, we have your before and after. So I basically just wanted to say, Facebook, keep here my before, so that I can come back with the after. And then I noticed that in the journey of sharing these pictures and the videos and everything, my following on Twitter, in fact, started growing. A lot of people were following me. A lot of people were attempting the exercises that I do put up on Twitter as well as Facebook. So obviously I noticed that after I would do this whole thing of encouraging people, I knew that some people don't even train for that matter, but I would just wake up or in the evening and say, guys, let's go to gym. Guys, let's go for a jog. So in the whole process of lifting weights, I also found love in running. Just to share, I have ran a Cosmos 3-in-1, which was basically a race, total of 73.3 kilometers. I completed it, and that's when I introduced the runner that you guys see on my profile. So the whole thing started growing, and a lot of people, you see, when people also ask you for the videos, Masi, please show me, how do I train my arms? Masi, please show me, how do I do this? And I will share videos, and I will share also some pages that these people need to follow so that they can find inspiration. So that was, that's how the whole thing it started. And after that, brands started approaching me. So like, first brand that approached me, they sent me a DM and said that, Masi, can you please help us promote this particular campaign? It's a running campaign whereby you're just going to be encouraging people to go for a run. So I would be encouraging my people, like, guys, please, let's go do this 5 kilometers and 10 kilometers, depending on what is happening on that particular week. So after that, a lot of brands came in, and obviously with the approach, doing different things, some brand offering products. But I have grown into this, obviously, with these digital spaces or the social media. It has helped me grow, because I noticed that I've received a lot of following on Instagram, on Twitter, as well as Facebook. And even after that, I even introduced the TikTok and be like, okay, this fitness TikTok, then why not? Because I have these videos. I introduced I also joined TikTok, and also on TikTok, I got campaigns even there. Like, people would be sending me DMs and say, Fitmasi, can you please help us promote this particular run? Can you please help us promote the special that we have at the gym? Can you please help us with whatever proposal that they're coming with? So for me, I must say that it's something that started as a hobby, but then at the end, I have made it out to be a business, because now I started being Fitmasi to an extent that when the whole thing started, I remember I was asked to do a media kit as well as a rate card. I'm a person in the PR space. So as a lecturer in public relations space, I know I have an idea of what a media kit is. But now it was a matter of doing my own media kit and sending it to this brand. So obviously that wasn't something that was a bit difficult. Yes, I had some difficulty in the rate card, because I felt like, okay, how much should I charge these people? So the other brand came in, they told me the amount, and then they said, do the rate card, Mercy, and send us. And then, yes, yeah, I don't know, undercharged myself, if I can say that way. And then they were like, Mercy, we said we are willing to give you this amount. Now change that rate card and make it to be what is on your contract. And I was like, wow, okay, are we here now? So it keeps the whole thing, it kept me motivated. And obviously I continued and shared my experience with my followers in terms of sharing the videos, sharing the pictures, as well as motivation, obviously sometimes, or inspiring quotes, whereby I know most people, they know me now by saying, create a body that you enjoy living in, which was more like inspired in terms of when you go to the gym, don't think you're just going there for whatever reason or you don't have any purpose, but at least understand that you are there to create a body that you will also enjoy. So yeah, thank you so much, okay.
Thank you so much, Mercy. The next two questions are addressed to Rosta. What inspired you to move from fitness being a personal journey to business? That's question number one. And for question number two, what would you say is an important step for someone like myself who wants to be an instructor or a personal trainer?
Thank you so much, Ubake. Well, I would say growth, my sister. I wanted to grow from just an ordinary trainer to the best female trainer. I wanted to train trainers. Secondly, I saw how I connected to clients that I trained and how it helped them go in the right direction. Thirdly, I saw how changing women's bodies gave them so much confidence to do anything. You're asking a question about how important it is to be an instructor, the steps to be an instructor. Study, my sister. Go to school. Go to school, study, so you are not misled. Gain experience, gain knowledge. Also, shadow somebody. Make time to understand what it is you're getting yourself into. Don't just do something because you see people. You must love what you do. Thank you, Ubake.
Thank you. Rosta is indeed a true definition of education is the key to success. Setu, the next question is for you. And we would like to know, how would you like to grow your business in the fitness industry?
I think this question follows out lovely from what Rosta just said. Study, study, study. I believe that knowledge is power, and with the more knowledge you have, the more you are at a position to assist anybody. So as much as I started my fitness journey, as Mercy explained as well, I started my fitness journey just to share my journey with people, and also just to encourage that one person who was just hesitant to start their fitness journey. And I think I started sharing more during the COVID times, where I shared my workouts as well, just to encourage that people saying that, you know what, we don't have gym now, so what now? So working out does not necessarily mean the gym. You can utilize your own body to actually get the body that you want, your body weight. You can work out at home. So with that, I saw the impact it had on people, and just the impact it had on people, and just how much people actually wanted advice. And I think that encouraged me to keep on sharing even after gyms were open. It encouraged me just to keep on engaging with people. And now, there's a lot of individuals that would like to actually get some assistance from me, but I can only share from my point of view and what I've researched that's worked for my body. But now, because I want to help people and I want to be more hands-on, I am currently enrolled on a personal trainer certificate. Hopefully by December, I'll be finishing it and be a certified personal trainer. So yes, study. I am definitely doing that. And this will put me at a great position to actually help people, and not only just get you from a body size, but I want to help you make this a lifestyle. I want to help people realize how important fitness and wellness is. Thank you, Ubake.
Thank you, Setu. We are rooting for you. We are behind you, and we truly believe in your success. Next up, we have a truly phenomenal woman. Zama's social media following is so impressive. I started following her on Twitter. Then I saw her beautiful abs. So I went to Instagram to see who exactly she was. Now, Zama, what would you say has been your biggest achievement in your business since entering the fitness space?
Okokuqala, the business itself for me is the biggest achievement because never in my wildest dream did I think I'd make a career out of fitness. Because when I decided to be fit, I mean, I was doing it for me. And along the process, I got to inspire people, and people were just amazed at how I've transformed my body. I mean, I studied economics in university, and I thought career-wise, my growth would only be around that field. Obviously, the opportunity to get to work and collaborate with big brands in the health and fitness space, that to me means a lot because it tells me that I'm on the right track with what I'm trying to build for my personal brand, and my work is being recognized. August had to being able to slowly tap into the global market through social media. So now I am not only getting opportunities to work with local clients, but also I'm getting opportunities to work with clients from outside of South Africa, which is absolutely amazing. I mean, social media is unpredictable, but I think what has helped me grow and to be able to get recognition is being real and authentic. Number two, sharing relatable content. And last and the most important is consistency. Thank you.
Thank you so much for sharing that, Zama. I am going to read a comment I just saw now on Instagram, and I think this is such an important comment because it touches on who and how our panelists actually live their lives on a daily. So Fezalicious says, salute, ladies. I love that you are everyday women with normal jobs and still manage to take care of your health by choosing to be active. I think that is such a beautiful comment. So with our last question, I know, we all have a lot of questions to still ask. So I'm going to address one more question to the panelists, and then we're going to go onto social media to check if other people have build-on questions from this part of the discussion. So the pandemic has presented different challenges for all of us, and it has forced us to think outside the box. It is without a doubt that these women who are sitting right in front of me today have done an incredible job in pushing through these challenges and managing to grow not only their social media following, but their fitness businesses. Starting with you, Rosta, what are some of the challenges that you have faced and how have you overcome some of these challenges?
Thank you so much, Obake. Well, the challenges will always be there. I still face them even now. There are a lot of challenges. So I'm going to give you 3 that I get on a regular basis. 1, to keep my business steady. Because I work with people and they come and go, I have to keep certain clients or get referrals. Number 2, getting an irregular income. I can hold di 15, I can hold di 25, I can hold di 30. So I get an irregular income, so I have to plan among that. Number 3 is avoiding burnouts. Because I work awkward hours, I need to be able to take care of myself. I need to be able to rest. I need to be able to also socialize. So normal like any other person. So those are the 3 that I'm going to give you that were challenging me in my business and are still challenging me. Thank you so much, Obake.
Thank you for sharing those challenges so openly and so honestly. Fitmasi, what would you say your challenges have been?
Okay, on my side, I think one of the challenges that the whole pandemic or coronavirus or COVID-19 brought was the fact that we stopped doing the races, like when you go for a run, organizing the races and stuff. So it obviously the campaigns stopped coming in because obviously now people it's very difficult to convince people to do virtual run because on the virtual runs, people don't feel the vibe. You see the vibe of going for a race, 5 a.m. you are there, or you are late. So it was no longer about that. And also, after obviously there's the levels, like we moved to level 3 or we moved to level 4, even when the campaigns came back, still the brands did cut their budget. You get the point. Like now you're not getting enough, if I may put it in that way, or you feel like it's way different from what we were getting previously or before the pandemic. So on my side, I think that's one of the challenges, or one of the things that a problem with the whole pandemic thing. It's just the campaigns are just not coming in. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Masi, for sharing. I think we can all agree that the only thing that is constant is change, and that we all constantly have to evolve with the change that is going on around us. Zama, what would you say have been your challenges, and how have you managed to face those challenges?
My challenge really wasn't because of the pandemic per se. It was just, I think, a general challenge when you're trying to grow your Instagram account. I really struggled a lot because I really didn't have a proper phone to take proper content. So my content was always just blurry. And, you know, Instagram is a visual app, so you need to produce content that will be eye-catching. So but I carried on. So as I carried on and got the little gigs that I got through social media, then I was able to make enough to get myself a proper phone, you know, to buy some cool, awesome apparel to create content for my Instagram. And then from there, I saw my numbers picking up, and I've been happy ever since. Thank you.
Thank you, Zama. I think what we can pick up from that is that it's important to start. So whether you have an Android that shifts a bit when you're taking your video, or you have an iPhone that takes beautiful photos, the most important message for today is start where you are with what you have, and everything else will fall into place. So, Setu, you are next. Do you mind sharing your challenges with us?
I think, no, for me, most of the challenges were actually a blessing in disguise, because Setu was just Setu Bray before the pandemic. I think the pandemic, as much as it produced the challenge of me not being unable to actually go to the gym, I had to find new ways to challenge my body. I had to find new ways to still keep active and just still keep sane, even though the world around us just shut down suddenly. But that is what actually produced Setu Bray, the fitness brand, because by me finding those ways to keep active, keep challenging my body, it inspired me to just share my journey with people, just share the workouts with people. And this is what actually got me the numbers that I currently have on Instagram. And it actually got people to notice that, okay, no, you've been consistent. This is what you're doing. As much as we are in this pandemic, and as much as we are facing what we're facing daily, but this is a coping mechanism for me. And you're not only inspiring yourself, but you're inspiring a lot of people as well. And it got me promotions, it got me campaigns. I just, it's not the way that you think your brand would start, but it's how it started for me. And I am super grateful for those blessings in disguise.
Thank you for sharing that, Setu. I don't know about my audience, but I have goosebumps. I'm not even warm in my jacket anymore. These ladies are truly, truly phenomenal. Now, we have come to almost the end, not the end yet, almost the end of our webinar. Without a doubt, I have enjoyed myself, and I have no doubt that the audience has also enjoyed themselves. Now I have one more question, and it is addressed to Masbulen Fitmasi. Do you think hormonal imbalance can affect your fitness business as a woman?
I want to understand. I like it clarity. I want the question to be more clear so that I can.
Sorry, I think when they say hormonal imbalance, I think they're talking about, when it's that time of the month and you really don't feel like doing anything. Those type of imbalances in consistencies. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. I must say that it can affect you in training and weight training, because I've picked up that when it's that time of the month, even in the gym with the people that I train with, I always tell them, you know what, guys, today and tomorrow, please, I'm not going to 20 kg. No, I'll just, if we're doing legs, no, I'll just squat with the 20 or 10 kg of the weights. But I always encourage, or I always say to people that it's also important that we rest. So if obviously you're feeling like you don't feel it in your body, and obviously you're feeling all those hormones and stuff like that, it's okay for you to do what? To rest. I know that that comes once in a month, obviously. So it would be a matter of in that particular week, I will skip the gym for that 3 days. And then obviously when you go back with the full strength. Because another thing that is very important, like I highlighted before, is that when you're doing weight training, there are a lot of things that you need to be mindful of. Because you can go there, and then we have, as women, I believe we are women, we have different flows when it comes to these things that we experience. So it's important that when you're in that session, you know that you are at your best level, you're at your best energy, and you can handle most of everything that is happening there in terms of picking up those weights or picking up whatever dumbbell and stuff like that. So it's very important that we also be careful of our health and how we feel at that particular time.
Thank you. That has been noted, and I think that is an important point. I have one comment here. I live in Canada, and I love working with Zama. Thank you, Queen. International. I love that. We are now going to go to Q&M for our closing remarks.
Apologies, Oba King. I believe the team behind the scenes have got a question for Rosta. Can they bring it up to you for your attention? Please, can they do so? Thank you so much.
Facilitator, question from Rosta, from one of the people on Instagram, is asking that, Rosta, what is your routine in keeping fit and healthy?
Sorry, what's my routine in keeping?
The question is that, what is your routine in keeping fit and healthy?
Oh, okay. Well, my routine, first of all, is discipline. I have to be disciplined in what I do. So what I do is, first thing in the morning, I wake up, grab some water, drink water. What I do, I eat breakfast, I shower. Obviously, I've got a lot of clients then. After that, I need to rest. I go to the gym and I eat healthy. That's what I do. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Rosta. Koketso, do we have one more question? We also have a comment for Q&M.
Facilitator, another question here from Facebook saying, what should women focus on when they want to build a fitness business?
I think I'm going to direct that question to Rosta.
What should women, what? Please repeat that.
What should women focus on when they want to build a fitness business?
Oh, okay. They should focus on building themselves first. So they need to build themselves and know what they want. Can we please mute? They need to focus on themselves and build what they want. They need to understand where they are going and what is it that they need to help them grow. So that's what I think they should focus on.
Thank you for that. Another comment we have here for Q&M, as well as the Department of Sport, Arts and Culture. Gcina Mfazi, thank you so much for leading this movement. Thank you for allowing us to be part of this platform as I choose to be active. God bless your hustle, ladies. Womandla. Koketo, do we have time for one more question?
Well, there's no new question whatsoever, facilitator. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I think people are just taking in all this information that we fed them and they're trying to process it. So closing remarks from Q&M.
Before we move into the closing remarks, one of the panelists, Masi, had raised a hand.
Okay. Thank you, Koketo. I just feel like I want to add on what on the question that was posed to Rosta about how can women in fitness try to build their businesses. Another thing that I picked up in my journey is the fact that I feel like growing your business in fitness, it's very important to lead by example. It's very important to make to make people want to know about your business, because I feel like sometimes if you're going to be talking about fitness party, you are not consistent at the gym. You are not consistent when it comes to running. You are not consistent even when it comes to speaking or what you say to people. Then obviously people will not find motivation or inspiration in you. So on my side, I feel like being an example and actually say that if you're going to be encouraging people to go and run, are you running? I cannot be going to people and saying, guys, wake up and go and run, go and jog if you want to lose weight, because I'm starting this weight loss program. And yet by 5 a.m., I'm sleeping in my bed. At the same time, in the afternoon, I'm watching all the soapies on TV and stuff like that. So in fitness, if you want your business to grow, I've noticed that you also need to lead by example. That's very important. Thank you.
That is very true. What a way to close up that question. Thank you so much, Fitmasi. And I think now I've been saying this is probably the third time. So third time's a charm, right? Q&M, do you have any closing remarks for us?
Thank you so much for that, facilitator. What an amazing job you did for us this evening. We truly are privileged to have somebody with such vigor and energy to have driven us. Just one or two things that I'd really just like to amplify. Thank you so much to the panelists for this evening. Thank you for taking your time, canceling some of your schedules with your clients to really be in the room and give more of yourselves to the nation. You know, lest we forget that this year is the year of Umama Charlotte Manyamaxeke. And we know her as a woman of first, liberation icon, you know, a woman who really epitomizes resilience in Pokoto. And when I look in this room at all the phenomenal women in this room, I really think you really are living, you know, the legacy of Mama Charlotte Manyamaxeke. And it is really inspiring. If you look at the comments that are coming through from all social media platforms, everyone is just really in awe of the work that you are doing. So continue to do this work, continue to rise and rise with other women so that we can have more of you, you know, who are encouraging South Africans to want to commit to a physically active lifestyle and dare others. And by so doing, we know that we'll be doing a lot more in managing and mitigating the current crisis we've got around obesity and non-communicable diseases. And that's me. Thank you so much for the privilege.
Thank you so much for having us. Thank you to the Department of Sport, Arts and Culture. And thank you to the at I Choose to Be Active team. Hashtag I Choose to Be Active. Hashtag WIF webinar. See you all next week. Thank you for joining us. Live on Instagram, live on Twitter, live on Facebook. Don't forget to follow at I Choose to Be Active. You don't know, you might get a very beautiful SMS as a VIP for the next webinar. See you again on the 26th at 7 p.m. for our next Women in Fitness webinar. Look out on our social media pages to know what the next topic is. Have a lovely evening.